Hi, I'm George, and here we go. There's the BSL shader. Now I left this at its default settings, and as you can see there's a bit of a haze kind of feel to it, a bit soft on the haze. I love the water reflections, those look great. Still looks really nice, but it's a little bit foggy looking almost. Let's look around opposite direction. Not as bad that way, so we're getting mostly kind of a glare in here from the sun. The realism of this shader is just phenomenal. That house looks really great with this particular shader, and the water over the right hand side looks just phenomenal. Here's the BSL shader at night. We have kind of a round moon. It's actually square, but the glow gives it kind of a round look to it. It's a little bit of light reflection on the water back there, not too much. Not much reflection on the water in the pool. There's a nice glow happening on the redstone on the side of the house right there, and plenty of light from the light sources. They're not real super bright, but they're giving off a nice amount of light. Let's now take a look at the Chocapic 13 Extreme shader. And this is version 9.1. It's still in beta, so there are still some odd things happening in here. You see we get some weird reflections out of the sky up there. I'm sure that's going to go away once the final release on this one comes in. Move down just a bit so that's out of the way. Real nice looking realism in here. The plants are moving just a little bit. The building looks great. The water reflections are very nice. Notice it's a much slower wave action on the water in here with this particular shader. This one is going to be great as soon as they tweak it just a little bit and we get our final release version of the 9.1. Here's nighttime in the Chocapic 13 Extreme. Again, this is still a beta shader, so they haven't fixed the sky yet. But if you get that out of the way, there you go. Looks very nice. Very moody looking on this one. The lights are bright enough. You can see the lights better in the pool, for instance. There's a lot of nice little glow around the lights. Nice reflection on the water over there from the lights up on the hill. Good looking shader at nighttime. Let's switch over now and take a look at the Complementary Shaders. Here we go, and this has a real nice look. There's still quite a bit of haze over there where the sun is. Just go over here just a little bit. See, there's a lot of that still there. But aside from that, it's looking very nice. The lights are a lot brighter in here. Notice the light on the porch and the lights next to the portal. Those are really bright even here in daytime. So it's a good looking shader. Also the pool light, very bright, so it's really nice on the lights. This would look gorgeous at nighttime. And again, one of the nicer shaders. The water is just real subtle on this one. There's not too much happening on the water. There's just a little ripple happening there. We do have that round sun, which I also like quite a bit. Here are the complementary shaders at night. We're not seeing as far away, not as much distance in here. I could tweak that though in the settings and get a better distance shot. We're not seeing that mountain in the background on the right hand side, for instance. We don't see any of the reflections on the water, but everything else looks good. We're seeing through the water very well. You can see to the very bottom of the pool over there. We're not seeing any real ripples though. The lighting is real nice and bright, easy to see. Notice on the redstone on the side of the building, we're also getting a reflection on the side of the building from the redstone. So we're getting interesting reflections happening in here on the sides of those stone surfaces. That's also kind of a fun, more realistic look in there. Okay, let's take a look at the Makeup UltraFast shaders. And this shader has some of the best clouds of any of the shaders. I just love how the clouds look in this one. Just really nice kind of puffy, happy clouds up there, move very smoothly across the sky. Everything else looks really good. There's more reflections on the water. Notice we can see a lot of reflections over there on the pool. The lights are pretty bright. And over here on the main water, just some nice little ripples happening, very realistic looking, and you can see through fairly well onto that water. And a nice soft look on the building. Again, very pretty shader. Here's the Makeup UltraFast at night. A bit more moody looking. The moon is very definitely square. We're not getting any light or reflections off of the background, so we're losing a lot of our detail the further away you go into the horizon there. So that's why their very fast rendering is not rendering the far distant objects as well. Look at the pool though. Interesting reflections and wave motion happening in the pool. You can see it really well on that pool light. Also, take a look at the redstone on the side of the building. That's not glowing at all in this particular shader. So again, very fast shader, good looking shader, but it's lacking a little bit on the distance settings. Okay, so now switch over and take a look at the Naelegos Cel Shaders. And there we go. This one has a really interesting kind of drawn technique, like it's a cartoon almost. Everything has these black outlines around them. Nothing special in the clouds up there, just standard clouds. And nothing special on the water either. And the sun is just your square sun. But has these really interesting outline looks. So if you're working with a texture pack or something that has more of a cartoonish look to it, this might be a great shader for that particular use. And again, a really interesting look here. Even at night, it still feels kind of like daytime, which is interesting about this one. We still have all those nice outline lines happening. Again, a really interesting shader if you're doing more of a cartoonish look. We do have some glow on the redstone back there. The side of the building has kind of a cartoony looking in it, kind of banding happening. Interesting, unusual shader. Let's now switch over and take a look at my personal favorites, the Sildur's Vibrant Shaders. There we go. This is the one I personally use most of the time. I like the Sildurs because they have several different levels of shaders. This is the extreme level, vibrant extreme. They also have a medium and a light level. I began this video with the light level because it renders very, very quickly. But the nice things about this, you can see how realistic it looks. The shadows look great. The lights are nice and bright and very distinct looking. We're not really getting much of a fog in there. Go over here to the sun, nice round sun and good movement on the water. You can't see through the water as much, but there's nice movement on the water as well. It's a real pretty shader. And again, this one is my personal favorite out of all of these shaders. Here's the Sildur's Vibrant Shaders at night. The trees back there, nice reflections in the water. You can see your distant lights on the hillside. And look at the pool. Really interesting wave motion on the pool even at night, and a reflection on that as well. Notice we have another secondary pool back there, and it's getting a reflection off of that lantern. We're not seeing any glow from the redstone, which is interesting. I'm surprised about that one actually. But everything else is looking very nice, very naturalistic. I really like how the clouds look in here, how they change from kind of a light to a dark right in front of where the moon glow is. Nice glow on the ground. Again, a real nice looking, kind of a warm tone because of our warm lights in here with this shader in the nighttime. Okay, let's take a look at one of our vanilla shaders. This one is the Super Duper Vanilla Shaders. There it is. These are new shaders. They're still kind of in beta, but I really like the look of this. It has kind of an interesting shadowy effect to it. We have a bit of a rounded square sun, so they haven't really done anything up there yet. The water movement is very slow ripple, not much. They haven't done anything with the clouds yet. I think they'll probably get around to those pretty soon. But the look in here on the building is really interesting. Notice how get that nice bright orange right along the edge of that wall in there. And then this side of the building is in shadow. And again, interesting kind of rounded square moon back there, but a nice reflection on the water from the moon. We can see our torches on the hill. It's a bit brighter in the background, brighter in the foreground. Not as much contrast on this one. No real wave motion on the pool. I'm not seeing any glow from the redstone. But everything else looks really nice. Bit of a cool tone to everything. Not that much of a glow around the lights. But again, this is just a vanilla style pack, so it runs very, very quickly. Again, very nice, very easy to use shader. If you want to have a shader that looks great, but just runs fast, this is a good option. Let's now take a look at the Vanilla Plus shaders. And this stays very close to the original vanilla look, but it's just a bit better than vanilla. Notice how the lights are real nice and bright. Water has a nice deep blue look to it, although there's no reflections in the water. The clouds are kind of 3D, kind of puffy, but very clean. A great shader. It adds in a lot of nice shadowing in here. A good shader if you don't want to be changing that much with your Minecraft world, but you want to have just a bit more look to it. And here's nighttime with the Vanilla Plus shaders. Very bright, kind of a cheerful look. Not that much added in, but a little bit added in. A little bit more shadowing happening here, a bit more smoothness. A very nice, very clean shader to use. If you just want a real fast shader that doesn't change your world that much, but adds just a bit of an improvement to the look. So there you go, my pick for the best shaders for Minecraft 1.18.1, and I'll see you next time.